So here's a movie I never heard of and probably never would have known about if it wasn't for a J Tilton 5 from the comments. And that would have been a real shame because Uzumasa Limelight is an amazing movie. So I received Uzumasa Limelight from Merlin over at SamuraiDVD.com for the purpose of review. As far as I know, SamuraiDVD.com is the only place you could get this film, including many other great samurai movies. They do great translations and picture transfers that are just as good as Criterion, so I'll provide the link in the description below so you could go check them out. Uzumasa Limelight released in 2014 and was directed by Ken Ochiai. It covers the dying samurai filmmaking traditions of Japan. Similar to American Western movies from the 50s and 60s, samurai films provided the romantification of the country's past. But now samurai movies have changed. Instead of real swords being used, now CGI blades are the future. The studios also don't want any more old actors. Everyone has to be young to appease to the new audience. So the film itself focuses on a character named Kamiyama. He's played by the veteran actor Saitsu Fukumoto, who Western audiences probably remember him as a silent samurai guarding Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai. Kamiyama is really the standout of this entire film. He's very quiet and self-reserved. He's respected mainly because of his self-mastery in the field. He's a bit of an artist of sorts, and he's created a real niche for himself in Japanese films and on television. But he's not a star. In fact, he's a guy many people might not even notice. He's known as a Kirurayaku. That's an actor whose main job is to be killed by the lead star. The word translates to acting cut. Other translations include chopped up actor and the role of being slashed. He's had a pretty steady job playing these sorts of roles of being slashed on camera for a television show for decades. But now the series is being cancelled and the directors and producers only want young people for their projects. And a 70-year-old actor who specializes in dying dramatically on camera just doesn't seem to be needed anymore. Fortunately for Kamiyama, he's able to find a sense of purpose when he meets a young actress named Satsuki. She's going to be an extra in a new type of samurai television show, but doesn't quite know how to make her scenes look realistic. Kamiyama, being the kind man he is, offers to coach her and eventually her skills are noticed. In fact, she is able to quickly move from a stunt team double to a star. All thanks to Mr. Kamiyama's coaching. Fortunately, she's very grateful of this and insists that Kamiyama comes out of retirement for one last final moment in the limelight. Uzumasa Limelight is a delight for anyone that loves samurai films, or if you just so happen to be a fan of Chaplin. Yes, Charlie Chaplin, and I know that's a very strange combination, but somehow it's true. In 1952, Charlie Chaplin came out with one of his greatest and most personal films, Limelight. However, while it's known today as being one of the greatest films of the 1950s, when it first came out, audiences were left cold, mostly because everyone expected the Chaplin movie to be a comedy. Instead, it was a bittersweet drama about an aging and rather sad comedian who ends up becoming friends with a young woman who ultimately becomes a big star, and because of her gratitude, she helps her beloved teacher to have one last shining moment in the limelight. Uzumasa Limelight is very much a homage to Chaplin's film. There's in fact many similarities and parallels between the two movies, so it ends up making a pretty good double feature. But Uzumasa Limelight is still its own film, and it offers an equally satisfying experience. And that's saying a lot. This film might also pay homage to Akira Kurosawa, as the concept of an old man meeting a young woman and then seeking higher purpose sounds a lot like Ikaru. The title itself, Uzumasa Limelight, was chosen because Uzumasa is a suburb of Kyoto, and that houses Toei Kyoto Studio Park. It's basically a set piece that looks like an old samurai town. It's like a Japanese Hollywood, where many old samurai epics are filmed. It looks like it makes for a really cool place to visit, and I have a feeling if you saw it, you'd probably recognize one of many samurai movies that were filmed there. So the big question is, did I love this film? Yes, and a big reason for that is the fact that this movie covers a topic that's very different, and it's one that I never really thought of much. It's about the lesser known people in film, and just how important they are. Without the guy that's good at dying, then big actors like Toshiro Mifune would never have appeared so skilled or heroic as we see them in the film. Another standout reason why I love this film has to do with the director. The film probably wouldn't have worked out so well with just any director making it. This director gives us a sense of nostalgia and love for the main character that you really don't see much. And I've always been kind of interested in the concept of age and just how it could force a master to not be able to do the thing that he loves anymore. The film simply ends up looking more like a piece of art that just slowly unveils itself to the viewer. It is slow, but in a very satisfying and intentional way. Also, none of it is in CGI, which the film does mock, and rightfully so. I really hate CGI. I also have to really mention the outstanding performances by the main actors. Everyone simply killed it. But Fukamoto leaves a very memorable performance, and now I see him more than just that silent guy in The Last Samurai. Anyway, it's a great film, and it's a different kind of film. Not really a samurai flick, but more a movie about how samurai movies are made, and how they change over time, for the better or worse. You'll enjoy this if you're a fan of the samurai genre. Otherwise, it could probably just be viewed as a great emotional drama. Samurai movies are a wonderful genre, and it's one that's changed a lot over time. But wherever it goes in the future, I just hope the heart of it remains intact. And that purpose is to transport us, the viewer, into a different time period, in a different world. All in the hopes that we enjoy our stay. Anyway, thanks for the recommendation of this film, and if you have any other recommendations, just leave them in the comments and I'll probably do a video on them. Thanks for watching.